Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Cryptid Cocktail Party, a show where we have a few drinks, share a few laughs, take a dive into the unknown. I am your host Dave, and joined as always by the beautiful Sarge, the Destroyer. What is going on, my beautiful liberal Satanist / love doctor?
I'm a much better podcaster, you cucked here weirdo.
Hey man.
Hello. What up?
Oh, nothing. It is hot as fucking balls in here. But how you doing? But
I know
we didn't get to talk last week, so this is
I know.
I'm very bummed out. But my mom was down, had to show.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I totally understand. That's that's an important thing to deal with. My parents live in this city, so I see them pretty regularly. But I get it. I get it.
I see her like once a year. So
yeah, it's important. It's important.
Then I do like the touristy shit. Like she's been here before, but for some reason she really wanted to see the Liberty Bell, and I was like, I don't think you understand. Like, it's not that cool. Like,
yeah, it's not the kind of crack you might be thinking about.
No, but it was like we stand in line for a half hour in the sun just to literally walk into a building, look at a bell, and then leave.
You're like, that was it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you've never seen it, it's whatever. But to be honest, like, it's not even the original bell. Like the,
yeah,
you know, like the. But whatever. But how you doing, buddy? You looking good? I know you went and saw fucking Metallica last night, and you're going again.
I know. No, it was Friday night, and whatever. I'm going again tonight.
No one knows when we
it's incredibly hot. So it's incredibly hot. So I'm gonna have multiple rags on me to soak up the sweat because I am a fat guy, and fat guys sweat.
I told my wife you were going to see Metallica at Gillette tonight, and she was like, it's too hot to see fucking anything at Gillette. She was like, I remember when Warped Tour was at Gillette Stadium, not even in the stadium, like in the parking lot. And I was like, fuck that, dude. Like,
well, so the good news is I'm in the 300s. So I'll be like right below most airplanes, and it's typically colder up there.
Yeah. The closer you get to the atmosphere, like space, it'll cool down.
Yeah. I'm hoping the trade winds really cool me down.
Oh shit. Well,
my Sherpa's ready, you know.
That's not.
He's got a couple of oxygen tanks.
But I feel like at like stadium shows, like they still have those giant fucking monitors. Like you'll be able to see something. Maybe not them on stage, but like they have screens.
Well, I mean, my camera's pretty good on my phone, so I can actually. I got some pretty good photos, and then I snuck down during Metallica because there was like this whole section that was basically empty. And no one stopped me. And so I was like down in the 100s for all of Metallica.
If they're not there during Metallica, I think you can just stand there. No one's gonna, like, I mean, like,
exactly.
No one's showing up.
That's the way I looked at it.
Midway through Metallica set.
And I saw Pantera. I was very excited to see Pantera.
Yeah, I'm not.
Phil's doing well.
Not a fan of Pantera. I mean, their music's fine, but fuck Phil. And also at this point, but Pantera is just like a fucking cover band. There's no original members besides Phil, right? Didn't most everyone leave?
Yeah. Well, most of them are dead, you know.
Well, yeah, that too. It's just Pantera cover band featuring Phil and Salvo.
Yeah, exactly. No, for me, it was more like I just wanted to relive middle school for a little bit.
That tracks.
Like they're not in my rotation whatsoever, but there's that, you know, that one song, Cemetery Gates. You can't go wrong with that one.
That's true. I will say
it's a ballad.
I will say Pantera. Not a fan of them personally as people, but I will say some of the music is really good, and what they did for like the genre of hardcore and like metalcore, like you can't deny that they are one of the most influential bands for those scenes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Yeah,
and you know, Metallica was awesome, and they played some older stuff. They played stuff off the new album too, which I was like, thanks guys, but I'm good.
So it's 2 nights. So is every night like a different set? You said everything.
Yeah,
different set list,
it's
right?
a totally different set, different songs. They don't repeat any songs.
Now, did you have to buy tickets as a pair, or was it like a?
Yeah.
Oh, so like if you bought one, you automatically get access to the second?
I think you could have bought tickets. I think you could have bought individual tickets, but I think for the most part you had to buy them as a pair. Because when you try to sell the tickets or you try to like give the tickets away, you can't because you have to break up the set.
Is there like a? Is there a reason why it was Friday and Sunday and not Friday and Saturday?
Well, I think it's because Metallica is 900 years old. And so they probably needed like a day in the cryo chamber, to just recover their aged bodies.
They had to go into the back to tank for a hot
God
minute.
knows their fans needed that extra day. Yeah. Yeah. God knows I needed the back to tank. So the first night, Friday night, I'm sweating like R. Kelly at a Girl Scout meeting. And all of my clothing is soaking wet. And then I got home and I immediately jumped in the shower.
Oh, yeah.
And then all day yesterday, I still felt gross, even though I showered. Today, it's going to be a little bit more merciful. It's going to be like in the 80s, I think. So it's not bad.
That's good.
I mean, in Massachusetts, the 80s after 90s and humid, the 80s, you're like, okay, this is bearable. I can deal with this.
Yeah. I mean, 10 degrees is a wild difference in like
with humidity. Yes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, Sarge. Well, we got a show to go over, but
I'm excited.
Before we do that, I just want to say, I got a lovely package in the mail from a listener.
Oh,
yes. It was from our good friend Matt, Bulk Detonator.
Awesome.
And
did he send you explosives?
No, he sent me. Hold on a second. Just wait.
All right.
1 second. Can you see this? Can you see what this is?
Oh, Matt, you glorious son of a bitch.
He sent me a dildo hat, dildo brewing, as you remember from the dildo episode. Also, this wonderful dildo t-shirt.
Amazing.
He also sent, it also came with stickers and a pin. Now, Sarge, how jealous are you?
I'm so excited for you. I'm very jealous.
Really? Because
I'm very jealous.
Oh, what's this? Is it a second hat and a second t-shirt and a second sticker and a second pin that I'm going to send to you?
Oh, this is the best day ever.
Yeah. So thank you, Matt, for sending us dildo brewing merch. I know we're sponsored by Narragansett, but I will be rocking the fuck out of this dildo hat. It's very exciting.
I would wear mine too immediately. I actually am disappointed I can't wear it tonight to Metallica because I think if anyone can appreciate a man wearing a hat with the word dildo on it, it would be the fans of Metallica.
Yeah. So I just want to say thank you, Matt,
Matt, you were the fucking best. Matt also sends me video of explosions, which makes me extremely happy.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things ever. It's yeah, he hit me up, asked for your t-shirt size and all that stuff, and tried to keep it a secret from you, and I wanted to surprise you all. That's why I said I had a surprise for you today.
Well, if you went with circus tent size, you were right.
Yeah. Well, I already knew your shirt size because you sent it to me, so it's fine.
Yeah.
I got you covered. All right, baby boy. Are you ready for today's episode?
I'm so ready. Let's do this.
All right. Sarge, today we're going to be traveling to the historic Columbus, Indiana. It's known for its modern architecture, many public art pieces. It's home to 7 national historic landmarks, 3 of which are churches and 1 is a bank. So if you're wondering, what this country was founded on, it's also home to over 700 acres of parks and green space, as well as over 20 miles of trails. It's also home to Chuck Taylor, the man responsible for making Converse shoes like what they are today. Big fan of Chuck Taylor's. Downsides. It's also home to noted anthropomorphic mommy issue Mike Pence and his assumingly somehow even more boring brother Greg. Of course, his brother does seem like he'd be a Greg.
Mike Pence looks like an elderly ventriloquist dummy.
The other downside is that it may also be home to a large green bipedal monster that has since been dubbed the Mill Race Monster. Are you familiar with the Mill Race Monster?
No, but I'm not surprised that a monster from Indiana would have the word race involved in it somehow.
All right, so this does not get racist at all. I don't think this is like an allegory for anything. I think this actually happens.
I hope so. We're gonna get banned real fast.
Yeah. So the story goes that on the day of November 1st, 1974, at around 3 p.m., 4 young women, their names are unknown, were hanging out and decided to go down to the park to play or do some underage drinking. I don't know. I assume they're underage because their names were never released. Like the police never released them. So I'm going to assume they went down to the park to fucking, get a little wild. This is 70s, small town. But
smoke a little weed, get drunk, whatever.
Yeah.
Actually, no, if they were smoking weed in 1970s Indiana, they'd still be in jail.
Well, I mean, I don't know their race, so.
Oh, that's true. Or if their dad was like a mayor.
Yeah, that's also. But not long after arriving there, one of the girls noticed something lurking between two trees over near the boat launch to the White River. She saw what she dubbed the thing and pointed it out to her friends. Terrified.
That's actually what Mike Pence calls his penis.
Hello, mother. Would you like to touch the thing? People forget that he calls his wife mother. That's fucking wild, God. Dude.
I think Reagan used to do that too, didn't he? No, he called her mommy.
I don't know. No, he didn't, did he? I know he called himself the Gipper, which is, I don't know what that means.
It sounds like a disease. I got a case of the Gipper.
Well, I'm going to eat my jelly beans and call me the Gipper. Mommy, come feed me my jelly beans. That's my Reagan impression. It's not that good.
Hold on a second. All
right, yeah, so. But not long after arriving there, one of the girls noticed something lurking between two trees over near the boat launch to the White River. She saw what she dubbed the thing. Oh, we already went over this. Whatever. And pointed it out.
Pence's wiener. Got it.
Yep. Mommy. Oh, no, mother. And pointed it out to her friends. Terrified, they slammed the rest of their beers, allegedly, and got the fuck out of there, and then immediately went to the police to report what they saw. They told the obviously skeptical police officer that they had seen a, quote, green, hairy, and large creature. Also how Mike Pence describes his penis. The second
infected.
The second sighting happened later that evening when a couple of gals, fresh from the drive-thru, decided to stop off at Millrace Park to chat and eat their meal in peace. One of the women, Tyra Cataline, I think that's how you pronounce her last name. I want to say Catalin, but I don't think that's right. Tyra Cataline, the only one to publicly talk about the experience they had, went on to tell her story to an episode of Monsters and Mysteries in America. I feel like that show comes up a lot, and I've never seen an episode of it.
Yeah, I don't remember that show at all.
Yeah.
And television was my babysitter for most of my youth. So. Yeah.
Well, she went on to tell them that, quote, excuse me, quote, it was just a typical evening, shortly after Halloween, and we decided to go take our dinner down to the park and eat it and talk. And we were just staring out into the dark woods, end quote. And it seems like this creature is kind of taking a page out of the Murfreesboro Mud Monster playbook, because suddenly a 7-foot-tall, hairy, green slime-covered monster appeared in front of their car. It was illuminated by the headlights, just fucking popped out like, what up, motherfuckers? Now, Sarge, this wouldn't be a story if they just saw this thing and they were like, oh, neat. And then just got out of there. And I'm not here to waste your time, Sarge. So no, this thing rushed the car and started smashing at its windshield and slamming on the car with all of its might, trying to actively get to the two women who are now trapped inside this car. She told Monsters and Mysteries, quote, it was beating on the windshield, trying to get in, and we were screaming. We thought we were going to die. I said, we've got to get out of here, but the driver was shaking so badly she couldn't get the car started, end quote. But even with all the chaos happening, Tyra was able to get a good look at this thing. She described it as, quote, there was a greenish tinge to him, the thing's face. I don't know if it had been in the river drinking and it got moss on it because there was so much slime on its face. It did have fangs, and he was trying to bite through the glass, and I was afraid he was going to tear the door off, end quote. How you feeling? Oh yeah, this thing's slimy too. It's not just covered in hair. It's slimy. Slimy.
Yeah. It's not smart though. It's not a smart creature, obviously.
I don't know. It's trying to fucking smash through the windshield.
Yes, but it was also trying to bite through the glass. Yeah. But it was like the closed window, so it was just rubbing its face on it, essentially.
But I got nothing. I was gonna try and justify it, but I couldn't figure out what to say.
There was a time I was at the zoo and I had my sunglasses on and I went to the baboon enclosure, and there's a glass thing there, and the baboon ran directly at the glass and slammed into it, trying to attack me.
But you've seen baboon teeth,
yeah, they're terrifying. Exactly. But I know if it's that dumb, I could probably outsmart it.
But here's the thing. When you're in a situation where it's smashing on your glass, even if it's just trying to bite through the window, you're like seeing those teeth and knowing that if it got through the windshield I'd be like, I don't care how dumb it is. That thing could easily murder me. It's like that chick who got her face eaten off by the chimpanzee.
Look, I'm not saying it couldn't murder me.
Oh, it 100%.
I have encountered many a creature driving through Southie that could easily murder me, but it can't figure out the puzzle of opening my car door because it's used to taking the bus or the T everywhere. So it's never ridden in a car, you know.
So now, luckily for the pair, the driver was able to gather themselves long enough to get the car started and get the fuck out of there. And just like those underage drinking girls from before, allegedly, they decided to go straight to the police to report what they had seen. Also, I think it's important to point out that like these two women, the ones who were like in the park eating their dinner or whatever, they had no idea about the earlier incident with the 4 like young girls.
It wasn't news yet.
No, this is like hours apart. Like it wasn't in this.
Yeah.
There's no story. But either way, just like with all these types of sightings, the police were no more going to believe like these older witnesses than they were the younger ones. Tyra went on to say that, quote, it just seemed like they were laughing about it. They said, "Oh, a monster? Really? Have you been drinking?" End quote. I don't know if they said it like that, but that's how I read it in my head.
I mean, if I'm being honest, somebody came up to me and was like, a green monster tried to break into my car. I'd be like, did you get drunk at Fenway?
I was gonna say, yeah. Were you in Philly? Was Philly Fanatic trying to come fucking kill you? Philly Fanatic with a baseball bat? You know, yeah, no, I got it. But whether or not the cops believed that there was a real monster roaming the park or not, there was undeniably real damage done to their car.
I was actually going to ask.
Yeah, and it's not just damage, but like just like the worst odor was like emanating from it due to like whatever like slime it was covered in. Like they said, it was like smeared across the window. Like when it was like pounding on it, like she had to like look through like smeared slime to get a good look at the creature. Tyra said that it was so bad that she compared it to the scent of a decomposed animal. Now,
so we're still talking about Mike Pence's dick, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. Now, obviously the police couldn't ignore it, so they decided to go and check out the park. But they weren't like they weren't like super stoked on it. It was more like one of those like, well, guess we better mosey on down to the park and take a look. It was like one of those.
Better send the rookie.
Yeah, and in their very half-hearted search of the park, they found nothing, obviously. No evidence at the scene, and I assume they just chalked it up to like maybe the car just did that.
It's one of those new Japanese models. It pre-dents.
Yeah, it just kind of did that. They just and whatever, but they just kind of assumed that like whatever, all this shit would quiet down in the morning, and that this is like the last they'll hear of it. But as we know from the Murfreesboro Mud Monster case, they were 100% wrong. The day after the encounter on November 2nd, the Republic newspaper printed a short article under the headline, and I'm going to read this in my best like newscaster voice, but it's going to be like it's going to be like an old-timey one. Monster. Women report seeing beast in Mill Race.
Name of my sex tape, actually.
And an excerpt from that article read, "They swear it's true. 6 young women told city police Friday in 2 separate reports that they had seen a mill race monster, once in broad daylight. And whatever it is, the 6 agreed it is 1, green, 2, hairy, 3, large, about 6 feet tall and walking upright, and 4, has claws." that was that's
Promise me you'll read everything like that from now on.
War on 2 fronts. No, I'm not going to do that. Then on November 6th, the Republic newspaper reported another sighting of the beast that happened when 2 men in their 20s claimed they saw a large hairy thing standing behind some trees near a covered bridge at around 4 p.m. The men returned.
Turns out they were just at Jim Belushi's house.
The men returned later that evening with binoculars to get a good look at the thing, and then told police that once they spotted it, it chased them away. Another sighting was reported after this on November 9th, 1974 in the Indianapolis Star. And this is probably my favorite monster sighting I've ever fucking read. And I don't know if you're ready for this. 2 men 20-year-old Rick Duckworth and 19-year-old John Brown worked for the city as dog catchers. They were in the park this day, quote, studying ways to rescue cats in the trees of the park, aka they were getting high and just fucking around in the park. I feel like,
yeah, they were absolutely fucking off from work. They had no intention of accomplishing anything other than, yeah,
they were doing shit. Now, the pair said that they spotted the mill race monster about 200 feet away from them. As soon as it was spotted, Rick, and I love him for this, was pretty much just like, all of my years of dog catcher training has led me to this moment, and decided to just fucking book it after this monster. Now, according to the newspaper, as soon as Rick took off after this thing, the monster ran away, quote, as fast as a deer and disappeared into the woods. And then, quote, with the monster gone, the two men obtained a ladder and lowered the cats to the ground. And as soon as they hit the ground, the two cats took off like lightning bolts, with one disappearing into the distance and the other running into a sewer line, according to Duckworth. They were really scared, he added. So, yeah, they were actually legitimately putting cats into trees and figuring out how to rescue them.
This is my favorite.
They were legit. Okay.
Were they taking the cats and just throwing them up in the air and hoping they stay in the tree? How did that work?
It didn't say, but
I know it didn't. It never does.
I honestly don't think there were cats. I think because if they were testing out ways to rescue cats, that means they would have either had to A, do what you said and throw them into the tree and hope they stay there. B, there was already cats in a tree and they're like, this is the perfect opportunity for us to find out new ways to rescue cats. Or C, they weren't doing it. There was no cats. They're just like, oh yeah. No.
For a second, I was thinking to myself, maybe the monster chased the cats into the tree, but that would be weird because then the monster would have to chase like two different, like cats rarely travel in pairs, right?
Yeah. So, they're not like fucking. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, but I
love the idea of two like down on their luck dog catchers just like miserably walking into the park with like cat carriers and just throwing cats straight up in the air and hoping they stay in the tree.
I think what happened was they got caught fucking off in the park. Yeah. And then they're like, no, dude, we saw the fucking mill race monster, man. What had happened was, and then what had happened was there was we were the cats in the tree, and then we were trying to figure out how we get cats down. Oh God, it's monster! And so, I chased after. You know who I am, boss. Boss, you know me. I don't back down.
I'm not afraid of shit.
Yeah, so I'm not afraid. After it. Fucking John, whatever the guy's name was. He stayed back to watch the cats, make sure they were safe.
You want to make sure the cats didn't like fall out of the tree and break a leg. Yeah, you don't want to see a cat with a broken leg.
Yeah, you don't want to see that, boss. You know me, boss. So I ran after. I couldn't catch it fast as a deer. That thing was. And when I came back, I was like, all right, we gotta really fucking we gotta straighten up. And we got
get back on the beat. We had to get back on the beat to catch dogs.
So we grabbed the ladder, which is our first experiment.
Yeah, we had the ladder because of the cats. We weren't smoking weed in the tree. We wanted to get the cats out.
Yeah, because we were experimenting how do you rescue cats? Because normally we would just climb the tree barehanded, and then toss one cat down to the other guy.
Because us, like we can climb a tree, but with the ladder, because our hands would be full of cats.
Yeah, it's just,
so we had to get on the ladder to come down. You can't wrap the cat around the tree. Like sometimes you grab the head and the tail and like shimmy down it, but you shouldn't do that because you could break the cat.
Bad for the cat. We do it the same way those people that climb trees to get coconuts do it. We're really
Yes, yeah, exactly. So like bottom line, we had 12 hours of overtime.
Yeah, sorry about that, boss, but you monsters, I was trying to.
Cats are safe. Cats are safe.
Well, not really.
That's
one of them
here for.
They're not real. One of them ran into a sewer line.
The sewer. It got eaten by an alligator that someone flushed.
Yeah, they didn't really do their job at all.
They're not good dog catchers.
Now, Rick Duckworth, the fucking the Macho Man who ran after the fucking beast. He also told the Star that he believes that the creature is really just a large framed man wearing a green mask and green blankets, and that if he ever sees the creature again, quote, I'll try and shoot him with a tranquilizer gun that I carry to catch dogs, end quote. Which is wild to think. Like, obviously, if it's a monster, yes, shoot it with tranquilizers, whatever. But if you right. In your mind,
it's just a guy.
If you know it's a dude, you're gonna riddle him with fucking tranquilizers. Like, he hasn't killed any. Like, nothing bad has really happened, except, I guess he did try to attack those 2 women. But back in the 70s, I don't think anyone cared about that part of it. They just
no, they weren't concerned with that.
Yeah.
The police were like, "Well, why are you dressed that way? Clearly, it was trying to get into the car."
Yeah, but either way, the prankster story is what like the officials of the city decided to say was the cause of the sightings, which didn't sit too well with like the people who actually saw the thing. Like Tyra was like kind of like, fuck you guys, like they tried to eat me basically. It also didn't deter anyone, especially the droves of, and we've seen this time and time and again, the droves of armed amateur monster hunters from swarming the park in search of this thing.
Nothing says America like an armed, angry villager chasing down a cryptid.
Now, the best part is that not all these people were from the town. Like, people came armed to the town, Kyle Rittenhouse style, to protect the property of this fucking place. One night alone, there was over 100 cars parked in and along the area of the park. One paranormal investigator and native to the area, Chris McDaniel, described the scene as, quote, people were coming out of the woodwork and they were walking through the woods with baseball bats and shotguns. It was getting to be a thorny situation, end quote. Now,
oh my God.
Yeah, very not good. Now, obviously, as we've covered a bunch of times, having roving bands of armed and jumpy nerds in a public park isn't something that law enforcement is like particularly cool with
or prepared for.
Yeah, especially if that park is near a residential area, which this one was. So the park director, Robert Gillikin, ordered that the park be closed at night, stating in a press release, and this is one of my favorite quotes. He said, quote, it may become necessary to close the park to the public at night, not because of the monster, but because of the public.
This is the same reason they close liquor stores.
Yeah. No, the police, it's not
the alcohol, it's a problem.
The police department even unofficially appointed Officer Kenneth St. John to the position of Monster Control Officer. Now, I don't know if it was just for the press or like for the public, but if I was ever a cop, this is the one promotion that I would be eyeballing constantly. Like I would have them make up badges for me. Yeah, like
I would need a badge on my sleeve.
I would do like my whole, gotta be a beat cop, do your thing. But I would be like, my promotion, I want to be the Monster Control. I haven't checked to see if this is still like a thing there, because it'd be phenomenal if it was.
I want to be the Monster Control Officer too. That sounds like an amazing job. Yeah, it sounds very fulfilling.
Right? Like you would never work a day in your life because you'd be doing what you love.
Yeah. You'd be throwing cats in trees.
But they should have gave it to that guy. But just like in all cases like this, after a while, the monster talk and sightings and armed posses kind of died down and people just went about their lives. Sure, there's no resolution as to what this thing was or why it chose to make its home in Millrace Park for the few weeks that it did, or why it behaved in the ways that it did. Like, it ran from some, but ran at and attacked others. And we may never know. Just kind of like the Murfreesboro Mud Monster. But whatever it is, it definitely impacted the lives of those that lived there for some time. And in the case of Tyra Cataline, to this day, she still fucking hates that she saw it. Like, she didn't want to see that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so there you have it, Sarge. That is the story of the Millrace Monster. How you feeling about it?
I am still just playing out the image of two dudes in coveralls with large nets, just launching cats into trees, and then being like, "All right, now the orange one's a wily, so be ready for anything."
You got your sunglasses on. It will go for the eyes. It will go for the eyes.
It's hard, and it's hard to catch a black cat because they look like shadows.
I just like, they were just talking it up for the press. They made that whole story because they got caught fucking like, why?
Yeah, they're under the tree ripping butts, just trying to enjoy the night. Oh, for those of you not regional, by the way, ripping butts is smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
I said that once and someone thought I meant farting.
No, you're ripping a butt.
Because that's a New England thing. You're ripping a butt, kid.
I still say that to this day. I don't even smoke cigarettes anymore. I have a Juul
I don't either,
thing. So like,
yeah, right.
But I'm gonna go fucking rip a butt. All right, what are we doing? Let's
Oh boy, we went off on a tangent.
Oh shit! All right, sorry. Yeah, so that's it. It's very similar to the Murfreesboro Mud Monster. I should have tried to like cross reference like dates to see like. I don't think any rivers connect to. I mean, sure there are. It might have been the same thing. I don't know. It's kind of different. It's not white like the Murfreesboro Mud Monster was. It's just covered in scaly slime shit. But I don't know. It's all fucking big.
Amazing. It makes me so happy. This is another good one.
Yeah, I wanted to, we haven't really, we did one monster that like one episode that I pulled out of my ass when we got together like 2 weeks ago. This one I wanted to be like, I gotta fucking give them the good stuff. All right. Although dildo merch,
is the good stuff.
Dildo merch did come out of the last one. So thank you again, Matt.
Cannot. As soon as I get that hat, I'm wearing it and taking a picture.
Yeah, unfortunately,
in front of a church.
They sent me a shirt that said medium, but it's actually a large, so now I gotta shrink it. But either way, I'm still gonna rock it. I think I might just cut the sleeves off and just make it like a 6 sleeveless, like fucking cutoff shirt.
Yeah, I mean, sleeveless life.
Yeah, I'm gonna rock it no
forever.
matter what, dude. All right, Sarge, you got anything you want to plug before we go?
You can still get my coloring book at sargessupernormal.com, $9.99. A wonderful price for a wonderful activity. And then, follow me on the socials. You can just Google Sarge the Destroyer. I'm the only one dumb enough to use that name, so it's out there forever. And if you're at Gillette Stadium tonight and you hear this, which you won't, because it won't come out till Monday, hit me up.
Yeah. And if you have trouble finding his socials, you can find them all on our Instagram at Cryptid Cocktail. There's a link in the bio that has all of that in there. Make sure you leave us a rating and review on Spotify, Apple, wherever you can. We get, it helps.
And tell your friends about us.
Yeah. It helps get the word, it gets us into other people's ears. That's not just yours or ours, because we hear enough of it.
Yeah. And tell us your stories as well.
Yeah, send us some stories, please. It'd be awesome to hear some stories from you guys. Keep it brief. Send us a message, an email, whatever. We'll read it at the end of an episode or something like that. And if we get enough, maybe we'll just do a whole episode of like listener stories. Yeah. That'd be fun as shit too.
Or maybe we'll just do them at the end of the episode. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll figure it out. And then
whatever tickles your fancy.
Follow us on Instagram, Cryptid Cocktail, TikTok, Cryptid Cocktail Party. Patreon, $5 a month. Just helps, keep the show going. It's, it's expensive in this economy to do a podcast. It's crazy.
Yeah. In this economy, it's crazy.
Yeah. Thanks, Biden. Anyways,
he quit.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, leave
the old man alone. He quit.
Well, but he still is like, it's like he put in his 2 weeks notice. He still worked at the job. He just is not coming back at the end of it.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. And with that, Sarge, do you want to say goodbye and I love you to everyone?
You guys, I love you.